All right, guys, welcome back to the Driven Mindset. In today's videos, we're going to be talking about the Lexus. And right now I'm at my mom's house. Yes, this is a Toyota RAV4. Everyone in my family actually drive a Toyota. My little sister have the previous generation Camry that hopefully I could do a video for you guys. But anyway, my mom actually bought this cash, so she didn't pay any interest or nothing on it. Pretty smart. My mom followed my strategy. But anyway, it's about this Lexus. So this video is about what can go wrong when you buy a used car from someone that don't keep up with the title. So let me give you a story with this car. So I bought this car almost 2 years ago. I was looking for another car to have. I was looking for something rear-wheel drive, something fun. I kind of wanted to be like the fun car, you know, to take out, to maybe take it to the track here and there, you know, just have some fun all around, whatever. It wasn't meant for be my fully daily, which it can, and it proven to be my daily. But anyway, I bought it for like $5,500. I bought it from a previous owner that was the only second owner. So this car only had 3 owners, the one who bought it brand new, the one who bought it after that, and me. So I'm thinking, you know, after only 2 previous owners, the car should be in good condition. Guess what? I bought the car, drove it home, and 3 days later the engine went. According to my mechanic, it wasn't enough oil into it. I swear I checked the oil before I bought the car. But anyway, one thing lead to another. I was kind of doing aggressive driving, and it kind of like messed up the car. So anyway, I was kind of depressed and stuff like that. And of course, I didn't put any money away, right? So my car fund didn't start because I normally like to do it every month. So because the car were broken within the first month, it was 0 money put away to fix this car. So I have to go into my savings, right? So I decided, other than selling the car, is to just keep it, fix it, and let's see what we could do to it. And that way I could have an actual maintenance history. So I went online. I saw this place up in Orlando called JDM Orlando. I'm not sponsoring them, but I bought this engine for $1,700 and $300 to get it shipped down. So that's about $2,000, and my mechanic charged me $600 to install. So that was $2,600 just to get a new motor into the car. So now this motor supposedly, quote unquote, don't quote me, supposed to come from Japan. This is a JDM motor, and it's supposed to have 40 to 60,000 miles because that's the regulation that they do to import their motors. I'm not know if it's true or false, but we're going to say this car had 60,000 miles when I bought it. The engine had 138,000 on the engine, which was very weird, right? For a Lexus, 138,000 miles, the car haven't even broken in yet. So just to have an engine complete failure was a shock to me, especially for a Toyota Lexus brand. So I'm facing the nightmares of what you guys might be thinking, like, damn, bro, you bought a car for $5,000 and instantly you're in another $2,500 for a new motor. So you'd be like, damn, bro, that's a lot of money. You just spent $7,500 on a car that probably doesn't worth $7,500. But that was not it, right? So here's the thing with me, because I wanted to have a full history with this car, I told my mechanic, let's do everything before we put this engine in. So we replaced all the seals in the car, the main seal, the front seal, the head gasket, new alternator, AC compressor, AC condenser. Basically I spent another $2,000 in parts, which I didn't have to because all those stuff was working. But because I wanted to have a full history with this engine myself, I decided to replace everything inside this motor. So a low miles motor, and then everything on top was replaced. I mean, I think the only thing I didn't do was the radiator, and because we checked the radiator and the radiator didn't show any signs that it needed to be replaced, but I replaced everything else, completely flushed everything and put it in. So I basically spent $5,000, which I didn't have to. I could have stopped at $2,500, but because I felt like I was going to keep this car for a long time, I decided to spend the extra $2,000 in parts by replacing everything that I just told you. I did the water pump. Everything was replaced while the engine was out, because guess what? There's not really that much extra labor, right? So my mechanic only charged me extra $300 in labor to replace everything because the engine was already out the car. Because if I would have waited to drop the motor in and slowly work on those parts, you know, at a time where they go, it'll be hundreds of dollars, $300, $400, $500. So with only extra $300, I was able to replace everything that attached to the engine. So yeah, that's how I'm basically $5,000 in just engine bay. But guess what? After I spend the $5,000, so now my budget on this car is over $10,000. But guess what? I've been driving this car for the last 6 months. Before I got my, before I decided to go back to my Corolla, I was driving this for 7 months straight, every single day, 7 days a week, and I had no issues, absolutely no issue. This car only seen 3 oil changes since the motor was swapped in, because I put on about 13,000 miles so far within a year and a half, and I have not received any problems with this car. And like I said, I do my oil change about 4,000 to 5,000 miles. That's when I do the oil change for this car. I know some people like to do that 10,000 mile stuff. I do not do that. I do not recommend 10,000 miles oil change for any vehicle. I don't care what the manufacturers say. But anyway, so you might be thinking, damn, was this car worth it? The answer is no, the car was not worth it, because I ended up spending $10,000 on a $5,000 car. Now, on the other side, the flip side, the pros to this, I know the history of the condition of the motor and transmission now, because I replaced everything myself. So I got a good, you know, mechanic sense of like, okay, this need to be replaced or that need to be replaced. And since I was on it, I decided to get BTC coilovers. So yeah, so you notice the car is lowered to the ground, so it's pretty smooth going at highway speed. But this is my story that I wanted to share with you guys. I don't want you guys to think that everything is always, you know, beautiful sunshine and no dark rainy days for owning a used car with high mileage. I mean, look at the sunset, guys. Wow, look at that. But things can happen, and that's one of the reasons why I like to talk about the car fund, to put away $100, $150, even $200 a month. Just put it away, especially if you know on the more expensive side. For a Lexus, I would put away maybe $150 to $200 a month. Just put it away, you know, just for the just in case. Anything cheaper than that, like a Corolla, Civic, or Accord, I'll probably do $100 a month, you know, just to have money put away. But this is my story to you guys, saying yes, things can happen when you buy a used car. I do not want to come here and tell you guys that, you know, rainy days don't happen with owning used cars with high mileage. I did not expect this Lexus to throw me off an extra $5,000. I basically bought the car twice, and I learned from a mistake, of course. Let me know in the comments if you guys have anything similar. Did you bought a car and then end up spending just as much money on it just to get it fixed? Did you guys bought a lemon? Did you guys bought something that, you know, someone told you that was in good condition, and like a day later you found out that the engine check light was on and everything is wrong with it, and the car required $2,000-$3,000 in maintenance just to, you know, get it up and running? So let me know, guys. But like I said, I do have another channel that I'm gonna start posting the link, because I'm gonna start reposting back on that channel. That one is more like a lifestyle vlog about cars and everything else, and I'm basically going to be running those 2 channels back to back. So let me know what you guys think. The sun is about to go down, and I'm going to end the video right here, and you see you guys in the next video. Peace.